Hostile takeovers, vegetables, family bonding, and the bat signal. All the highlights you need from the last 2 episodes of The Penguin on Max coming up on Less Than Normal. But first, let's talk Marvel's latest hero shooter, Rivals. It's set to drop December 6th, but its future already looks a bit dicey. Turns out some execs at the studio behind the game, NetEase, the same team behind Once Human and Diablo Immortal, are under investigation for laundering a casual $139 million, according to some reports. Now, that's a lot of V-Bucks.
This is quality content. Dude is my age. Marcus is my age, and he's got like 50 years of fucking experience.
Let her the fuck out of her channel.
Louis Armstrong was the midwife that helped birth Ska from the cloaca of punk.
You guys heard it here first at LTN Media. There's packs of wild stray dogs that control most of the major cities. Anytime you just hear, almost the lava. It's like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Less Than Normal. I am Chris. Joined with me, as always, is Dave and the ever-hungry Bree. Dude, she's crushing some pasta right now. And as an Italian, I approve.
Look, it looks like penne in a tomato sauce with some cheese. I'm here for that.
That sounds delicious. Not like my dinner, which was 5 waffles. I only ate 5 waffles. I was going to eat 4, but my niece yelled at me because I left an odd number in the package and she's OCD. So
look,
I had
you
to
can
eat a
only
fifth
leave
one.
an odd number in the package if it's in rows of 3 and you leave a number divisible by 3. But most waffles are in sleeves of 5, which means you were leaving one straggler waffle with the rest of the toaster waffle. You can't fucking do that. Fuck you, man. Why would you do that to other people? That's
I
shameful.
ate the whole sleeve, so it's not. Listen, I just ate what I was gonna eat, so I ended up with 5. It's funny because I'm like, waffles are good, but if I had my choice, it's 100% pancakes. Like 10 times out of 10 for me, it's pancakes. I do like waffles, but pancakes are far better.
So I prefer waffles because I'm not boring and like texture. But also,
you tell me, you say with a straight face that chocolate chip pancakes are bomb as shit.
They're not as good as chocolate chip waffles.
I disagree. You are out of your mind, but continue.
I thought about making M&M's waffles the other day.
Okay. Sure. With what, the minis? Or full-size M&Ms?
Full-ass size M&Ms, but there's a Belgian waffle iron upstairs.
Okay.
So, like, when you're making a waffle that's the size of a plate, I think it can afford to have full-size M&Ms in it.
Dude, can I tell you, you know what's been popping up in my social media feed recently? Is that Japanese cheesecake that looks like a giant fucking marshmallow. It looks like a mix between Jell-O and a marshmallow, and it's apparently Japanese cheesecake, and it looks delicious as fuck. If there's one thing I love, it's cheesecake. Not as much as cannolis. Cannolis are god tier. But
Okay, but the thing is, if you do a dessert cannoli, you can fill it with cheesecake filling.
Dave, that's sacrilege. I can't allow that as an Italian because it's not a cannoli. It's not a cannoli.
Sure, it is.
It's not a real cannoli.
Just like a hot pocket is basically a stromboli.
Hey, listen, I am proud of my Italian heritage. Don't you dare insult me like that, Bree. Anywho, before we get started, as always, I want to give some love to the squad over at Miles on Motorsports, where you can hear my voice as well. 95.9 WATD. We're going to be doing some fun stuff next year. So nice crossover stuff that might lead to some bigger stuff. So you never know. Keep an eye on that. We were not with you last week, plain and simple. We had nothing to fucking talk about. There was like nothing going on that was worthy of us talking about. So
Other than Agatha and Pengu.
Yeah, which worked out
That is not a
in
whole
your
show.
benefit. No. But it worked out in your benefit because we get to cover both the Penguin finale and the Agatha All Along finale. I think that's the only way we could do that, considering this has been the talk of our show for the past month and a half. So
plus the million trailers.
The million trailers, we were so hyped. We do have a few trailers to talk about this week. We also have a new show that's out that Bree and I definitely at least want to talk about a little bit.
What shows
From
that?
what I saw.
That is the top. Yeah, well, honestly, you didn't miss much after that, so we have plenty of time. But should we get right into
Your mom?
the box office numbers? We're not getting into my mom.
Okay.
What is it with you
What
and my
came out
mother?
last week? Heretic. That's the only movie that came out last week. That was of
Well, can anyone guess
interest.
the number one movie in the box office?
Debbie Does Dallas.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, I got one.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know, because it could be Smile 2, it could be the best Christmas pageants ever, it could be Heretic. I have no idea.
Wait. We're a week before Thanksgiving. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. We're 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. It won't be that yet. Carry on.
So, in its third week in the box office, coming in at number 1 is Venom: The Last Dance. It grossed 16 million over the weekend. Its total grossing so far in the United States is 117 million. In its first weekend in the box office, Heretic came in at number 2, grossing 11 million. The best Christmas pageant ever comes in at number 3, also in its opening weekend, also grossing $11 million. The Wild Robot, in its 7th week in the box office, is at number 4, 6.6 million over the weekend. That has amassed 132 million.
I've heard it's good. I haven't seen it.
Smile 2 comes in at number 5. In its 4th week in the box office, 5.1 million. That is up to 61 million. So
Test.
I'm here for that. Let's see what else is on the timeline that we should talk about. Oh, number 10 in the box office in its 5th week, Terrifier 3 made $1.7 million last weekend, pushing its total massing amount to 54 million, which I'm pretty sure is more than either of the first two made. So
how much was its budget? Hold on, because I know that it has a bigger budget than the first two do.
It does have a bigger budget.
3 budget. $2 million.
$2 million. It made 19 million on opening weekend. Total grossing worldwide is $79.94 million.
Hell yeah, for horror.
That's what we love to see. Shout out. If you're the first featured review, if you're into horror with no plot, no characters, and all the depth of a puddle, this is your dream come true. Yeah, that's literally the whole fucking point of the movie. They are
That's the
very
first
obviously
movie.
not good movies. Also, my favorite part is that fucking Chris Jericho is in this movie.
Okay, but
For
to
a
be
very
fair, Chris Jericho was also in the first X-Men movie and the second X-Men movie and the third X-Men movie. He
Was?
played Sabretooth.
No, he didn't.
Oh, right, that was Triple H.
Triple H was not in X-Men either.
Who was the wrestler that played fucking Sabretooth?
It's Tyler Maine. I think.
Yes.
I think it's Tyler Maine. Yes, because that's Michael Myers. Yes, it's Tyler Maine.
No, Triple H was in Blade Trinity.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking for him.
That movie is so fucking funny. People hate it. That movie makes me laugh my ass off.
Because of Ryan Reynolds.
It's because of Ryan Reynolds. Well, no, a lot of that movie is pretty funny. Nothing massive coming out this weekend except for
Shut your
Red
mouth.
One.
My husband has a movie coming out.
Well, I just watched your
You
husband.
gotta
get turned
stop
into-
saying that on air.
I have been calling him my husband for my entire life.
That is also still weird.
Why? I am allowed
you know
to
why.
be delusional.
You are,
No,
but not in
you-
front of the tens of people that might see this.
Tens of people.
I mean, shout out to this cast though. I mean, for Red One has a pretty solid cast. Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, J.K. Simmons, Bonnie Hunt, Kiernan Shipka, who is in the Sabrina TV series on Netflix, Nick Kroll, who else is in it?
The only people I've seen in the trailers are Lucy Liu, Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, and J.K. Simmons are the only ones I've seen in the trailers. But a lot of characters in that seem CGI, so they might be the voice. If it's Nick Kroll, he's definitely playing a voice.
Yeah.
That's not true. He has live action roles from time to time. He was in The League.
He also had the
He
Nick
played
Kroll
the
show,
squirrely
which was
Jewish
terrible.
guy who complained about things being unclean all the time.
I mainly know Nick Kroll from Big Mouth, where he plays every character.
Yeah, it's
That's not true.
It's his show. He was
Some
in the
people
Catholic
play
plays
other
most of the
characters, just not many.
characters.
He
I'll
was
say he
also
plays most-
douche in Sausage Party.
Don't remind me of that movie.
A movie I shut that movie off 30 minutes in. I was like, this is the dumbest fucking movie I've ever seen.
I tried to watch the whole thing.
It's so bad.
I don't remember any of it because I feel like I have a mental block. I don't know how much of it I watched, but I do remember leaving that experience and wanting to see how hard it would be to consecutively swallow baseballs until I passed out.
That sounds like a reasonable response to that movie.
I've seen the
You know what the
entire
worst part
movie.
is? They made a fucking sequel.
No shot.
Yeah.
It came out earlier this year,
Yep. They made a sequel.
and it went straight to, I think, Prime.
Because I've heard it was terrible. Oh, that's unfortunate. Even Dave's disappointed. Listen, I have in fact met Seth Rogen. I love him as much as the next guy, but Seth, some fucking movies don't need to happen. Pineapple Express
And you know what his
2?
response would
Please. Sausage Party 2? No.
No. But do you know what his response to that would be, Chris? Okay, but homie, do you know how many zeros the check they gave me had on it?
Oh yeah. I know we never got a sequel to Pineapple Express, and I would have loved a sequel to Pineapple Express.
Sequel to Pineapple Express, sequel to Knocked Up, sequel to Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
We don't need a sequel.
There's a sequel to Neighbors.
Knocked Up. There is a sequel to Neighbors, and it's pretty good.
I've never seen Neighbors.
No, the first one's hilarious.
The second one's funny.
The second one's funny, but the first one is way funnier.
Oh my God. Make the sequel to Knocked Up and the sequel to Pineapple Express the same movie.
No. Knocked Up doesn't need a sequel. That movie is fine. It ended fine. I'm happy with how it ended. I don't need a second.
But I want to see Seth Rogen trying to be a dad.
Watch Neighbors.
Watch Neighbors.
You know what? Fair.
Because he gets to be a dad with an Australian dialect speaking Rose Byrne, who, if you've never heard her native Australian accent, it's terrific. I haven't, but I have seen Taskmaster Australia. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing. There is a good amount of people in Neighbors, though. If you like a shirtless Zac Efron, absolutely there.
I'm good, thanks.
Is there anything else other than Red One that comes out this weekend? Probably not. No. I know we're still like 2 weeks away from Wicked.
Gladiator 2 comes out in a couple weeks as well.
Moana 2 comes out.
I'm sorry, what comes out in a couple weeks? All of the main characters of the first one are dead. All of them.
Well, Gladiator 2 has, I think, it's Pedro Pascal, Denzel Washington, another man that I can't remember. Paul Mescal, I think.
Yeah.
I've seen the trailer a million times.
Connie Nielsen's in it. Yeah. You want to guess who's directing it, Dave?
We'll be talking about Denzel later on.
There's no way it can be a direct sequel. Everyone's dead. Don't call it Gladiator 2. Call it Gladiator the Second Coming or something.
It ties to the original.
Right. But it doesn't follow the same lead character, which means it's not a direct sequel. Because the lead character from the first Gladiator is dead.
So years after witnessing the death of Maximus at the hands of his uncle, Lucius must enter the Colosseum after the powerful emperor of Rome conquers his home. With rage in his heart and the future of the empire at stake, he looks to the past to find strength and honor needed to return to the glory of Rome and its people.
Directed by Ridley Scott.
Okay, so instead of Gladiator 2, it should be called, based on the kind of synopsis you just read, Gladiator Honor the Dead. Or something like that. Don't call it Gladiator 2. Oh, God.
Ridley Scott.
So bad.
Yeah, I'm going to do how I want. That's what Ridley Scott just said.
You know who recently did that? The person who made Megalopolis exclusively for themselves.
Yeah, but name me another director that would make a movie specifically for themselves besides Coppola. There's not another actor or not another director that
apparently
would do that.
Ridley Scott.
No, this movie for early reviews have been really good. So
I'm sure the movie's great. My problem is the name is trapped.
I mean, everyone's been asking for a Gladiator sequel, and we're getting one. So,
a sequel, yes. Direct sequel, no. Naming convention is wrong. It's the one thing XXX State of the Union did right. It follows a different lead character. They didn't call it XXX 2. That's the only thing that movie did right.
Because the other two are shit. The first one's good. The other two movies suck.
The other two movies also don't have Vin Diesel in them, which is the only thing that made them work.
The third one has Vin Diesel. The second one has Ice Cube. The third one has both of them. And
the fucked up thing is,
I do love Ice Cube.
I was going to say, I love Ice Cube. XXX State of the Union was so bad, I left the theater. I went to the theater to watch that piece of shit. piece of
too.
shit movie. And I left like 30 minutes in. I'm like, look, I'm on a date right now. And we, like me and my date, we looked at each other and I was like, would you rather skip to the part that happens after the movie? And she's like, yes, please, for the love of God.
So, Bree, do you have a movie review for us this week?
Unfortunately, I do not. I was going to, but because I was going to go see an early showing of Red One, but it was on Sunday, and I had a place to be on Sunday.
You did. Can we talk about that can crack was pristine? Also, I really want 7-Up right now.
Not sponsored.
Shout out 7-Up though for being amazing.
Look at this cool cup I found in the cabinet.
That is dope. I just have my Yeti cup that I talk about all the time because I thought it was insane to spend $35 on a cup, and then I bought one.
You know the Fabuloso cleaner that they look like juice bottles?
Yeah.
So there's an almost empty bottle of Fabuloso upstairs that when it's empty, I'm going to take the label and put it on this bottle and use it as a drink bottle. Fill it with lemonade.
Because you are a psychopath.
Uh-huh. I mean, I'm also the guy who cleans out mayonnaise jars really well and makes vanilla pudding in them and then eats it on an elevator.
Dave is the walking embodiment of what's that fucking show? Impractical Jokers.
Kind of.
Which, while it's a great show, it's only cool in moderation.
Well, it's not something I do all the time.
Anymore.
When he wants to be a psychopath.
When Dave just wakes up and goes, I want to ruin somebody else's day.
No. Okay. Story time with Dave. So I woke up this morning from a dream.
That's good.
Where I was talking to a guy and making arrangements to be his event coordinator and the organizer for an in-house band that he wanted put together because he had a bar with a stage that he wasn't utilizing. And I think that would be kind of an ideal job for me. I could fill in as a bartender when needed, etc., right? Like, I have the skills to do all those things. I was really excited. And then I hear over the fence, because I was getting a ride, and I was talking to this guy. It was either in his backyard or in the backyard of the bar. Unclear, because it was a dream. But I'm like, hey, man, I got to go or they're going to leave without me. Thinking nobody would actually leave without me. And he hands me a ballpoint pen and a Kleenex to write my name and number down on. And so I struggled in my dream for what felt like 30 fucking minutes to write on a piece of Kleenex with a ballpoint pen.
So if you're looking to hire Dave... Don't ask him to write on a paper towel or a napkin or a tissue or anything. But he seems real bored, so
anyway. So I just wrote my number on his hand. I'm like, they're gonna leave without me, haha. And as I'm writing my number on his hand, I hear my cousin, who is there for some reason, go, hey, we'll see you at the like fun park or something like that. The fuck? And so I ran out and I hollered because they're driving the fuck away in like an early 90s Oldsmobile station wagon for some reason.
Jesus.
I'm like, hey, wait. And then I see my mom motioning to whoever was fucking driving, because I don't know who was driving, to keep going.
Don't stop. Just go. Just keep going.
And I yelled at them in my dream. And then in my dream, I did the thing. But apparently I did that in real life too, because it scared the shit out of Danger.
Poor Danger.
I was so
Oh,
fucking mad when I woke up. It took me like an hour to not be pissed off. And then I called my mom and told her about it, and she laughed, and I laughed, and like I felt better because I had told her how mean she was to me in my dream.
Dude, okay, so no bullshit. For about 3 months, I went through this whole stage where my best friend Brandy, who you guys all know, who is like the sweetest human being, I had dreams that she was a just ruthless bitch to me for no reason. And I would always tell her about the dream. She goes, "Why am I a fucking asshole to you in your dreams?" I was like, I don't know, dude.
I was like, hey, being a ruthless bitch to you is my job.
But you also feel bad about it most of the time.
Yes, because...
All right, so I would like to posit, and this is the psychology classes I took, that you trust Brandy's opinion, so the things she was being a ruthless bitch to you about are things that you maybe kind of think about yourself, and it was a way for your subconscious to yell at you in a way you might listen to.
Welcome to therapy with Dave.
Think that that's what was going on, but that
I know very little.
Interpretation? I did take a bunch of psychology classes as well, so
So you're like, that's probably not correct, but also valid.
I mean, there's a reasonable thought there. I see where your interpretation can come from, and absolutely that could be a motive of those types of dreams. But like, if I remember them correctly, she was just an asshole. It wasn't about anything in particular. She was just an asshole. No, I have had some dreams where I sit back and I go, I need to think about this one, because this one actually means something. Not like the one where I'm being chased naked through the woods by Lurch from the Addams Family. I still don't understand that one, but we're working
For me, it's
through
Darth Vader, and it's because I have...
Do you have daddy issues?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Issues?
It's more complicated than that, but kind of, yes. What?
Daddy issues? I've been summoned.
Oh, that was fucking brilliant.
You have to have a dad to have daddy issues.
Thank you for that.
I'm kidding. I love you, Bree.
Are you implying that her mother gave virgin birth? Like,
yes. Yes, I am.
Think that's the joke, is that my mom made me all by herself.
Oh my god, this has already been a show. Anywho,
what's at the top of the show sheet?
So a show that Bree and I, or show that I introduced Bree to, over the past few weeks, Arcane, which is a show on Netflix. Season 2 officially released last Friday. They released the first 3 episodes, and it looks like it's just going to be a weekly thing from there. We watched the first episode. What are your thoughts on the start of the season?
They pick up as soon as the first season ends, and that means everybody dies. Everybody doesn't die, but it starts guns blazing. You don't get a second to breathe. It just starts, and you're like, God damn.
But I mean, that was kind of the tone of the first season too, wasn't it? Like, it was just, you got some story. There was a little bit of lighthearted, but then like real shit always just fucking happened.
But I feel like, if I remember correctly, the first season, like, it's not great, but it starts with some kind of like lightheartedness. This one, it just starts and boom.
I mean, it starts like that until Jinx just fucking kills everyone at the beginning of the show. The whole beginning of the whole first season just offs everyone. But
and if only they'd stay dead.
Actually, those characters did stay dead.
No, I mean all of them. If everyone died, then the show would have died. But unfortunately,
this is for people who
I
don't
feel
have
a different way about Arcane
Riot
than these two, because I hate Riot Games.
And Dave also
hasn't
hasn't given the show a chance, so
I refuse to, because I refuse to interact with anything that might make them money or think they're doing things correctly, because they're not.
So Bree and I are going to keep enjoying the show. Our Shadow
and every week I'm going to remind you that it's okay to also not enjoy the show.
our Shadowhunter Sunday has switched over to Arcane, which is fine. It gives us like something to watch. I love iCarly, but I think we both kind of got bored of iCarly.
It's not that we got bored.
I saw. Oh
it's
God,
that
what was it?
We would get on and be like, we want to watch a horror movie tonight.
Yeah,
and then it just continued like that.
Yeah, it's spooky season hit, and we were both like, should we just fucking watch horror movies?
Yep.
Which, by the way, we did talk about Black Swan in the last episode a couple weeks ago. I did rewatch Black Swan the other night. Yeah, that movie is fucking dark. But fantastic. It is fantastic, dude. Anyone who doesn't respect Natalie Portman as like a just top tier actress, you were out of your minds. Because that was an excellent role.
It's Lonely Island said it best. Natalie, you are a badass bitch, and I always pay for my dry cleaning when my shit gets in your shoe.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, no, we're all pretty hyped up about, or at least Bree and I are pretty hyped up about it. So if you guys haven't checked out Arcane, watch the first season. Definitely watch the second season, because this is the final season of Arcane. But there are Riot and Netflix are planning on doing other things or other shows from characters in that universe. So, League of Legends fans, be happy.
Do you want to start episode 2 over, or I can watch it on my own and we can start 3? Because I made it halfway through episode 2, and then the next thing I know, it was sunlight outside.
I don't think you even made it through the beginning of episode 2.
No, we made it to episode 2.
No, we did. I don't think you did. I don't think you made it past the start of episode 2. Because I had called your name a couple times and you were just out. And I was like, let me disconnect her. You also had gone to like a work event. So I was like, yeah, you probably were like drained.
Not to mention I had woke up at...
I would like to point out that disconnecting someone means something different at 20 than it does at 80.
What do you mean?
You would know.
It's a life fuck you. It's a life support joke.
Oh my God. That's fine.
It's also because I had to wake up at 7:20 to be at my work at 9 o'clock, because we had to do 4 hours of cleanup to be able to go to the end of season party, and I had to pick up 2 knuckleheads to take them because they ain't got a car, so I had to wake up even earlier to get the 2 knuckleheads to take them.
Well, yeah, it'd be like that.
Are their names Chuckle fucking Knuckle Dragger?
Their names are Demon 1 and Demon 2.
I think I now need minions named Chuckle fucking Knuckle Dragger.
Anywho.
Accepting applications.
Dave, do you want to give us your honorable mention before we dive into it?
Yeah, it's Colin Farrell, because, oh my God, I had to keep reminding myself that this motherfucker plays Ozcobb, because it's not him, guys. If he went and robbed a bank in that getup, nobody would ever fucking know who robbed the bank. Like,
no, they would assume it was the Penguin.
The Penguin robbed the goddamn bank. Well, Colin Farrell, that wasn't Colin Farrell. That was the goddamn Penguin.
That was
Pengu himself waddled his ass in here and passed me a note that said, give me the money or I'm going to stick an umbrella up your ass.
Give me the money or I'm going to choke you out on a park bench.
Literally.
So, I told y'all that was coming weeks ago. I told y'all Victor doesn't make it out. I told y'all.
Well, I think that segues perfectly into the final 2 episodes of The Penguin.
I hate this show. Fuck this show.
Holy shit.
So good though, Bree.
Oh,
it's
God.
Good, but y'all were watching my reactions.
It made you feel things, and you don't like to feel things. We know.
No,
But
Bree
anyway,
gets very attached to people in shows, which is a
Mhm.
good thing to have that. You know, a show is good when you're emotionally connected to someone, and then if anything happens to that person, Bree is like, "Fuck everyone that was ever involved in this bullshit."
mhm. Fuck you, fuck you.
They
fuck
had to
you.
remind you that he is, at the end of the day, the villain, and that you have, for 9 episodes, been rooting for the
The
villain.
villain. So where do we want to start?
Because doesn't the second to last episode, is it that the one that starts with we find out what officially happened to his brothers?
Yes.
Yes. So this needy motherfucker killed his own brothers.
No.
Well, not directly,
He left his
but
own
he is the
brothers for
cause
dead.
of it.
He is the common denominator between his brother's death and where they died.
Correct. However, I think when he closed them in there, he didn't know what was going to kill them.
Yeah, but I also don't think he was worried about that.
Correct.
Because he had his mommy all to himself.
Because he's a
All
sociopath.
he wanted was, yeah, he is. That he is.
Yeah, they go down there to play because they go to give a book to Rex, and they get the money. They start playing flashlight tag. They go down in a hole and they hide from him. He can't get down there because he has the bum leg, as he calls it. And he gets upset and locks them in, and then they drown. And that was dark as fuck because you hear it's because I had the subtitles on and it just says gurgling.
Yeah.
I almost took a screenshot of that and posted because I also watch with subtitles. I almost just posted the screenshot of the word gurgling in the Discord.
Because it was not funny, but it made me laugh because it was sound like that's so
gurgling. Just so you know, they're drowning.
And then the next one said gurgling stops.
It's funny. Oh my god. Then, all right, where do we pick up after that? I'm trying to remember.
I just watched both these episodes today.
I don't, same. That I believe is the part where
that's not when Sal.
I was gonna say I think that's when Sal comes in.
Is there not stuff before Sal comes in and gets?
Oh, they took his mom.
Yeah, because he gets back to the apartment and Dave was pretty on the nose about Victor getting Jason Todd, but he didn't die. He just gets on top of the head, passes the fuck out, and they take the mommy.
He didn't die then. But yes, they take Oz's mom as they're down in the. No, that's when he comes back. He comes to the apartment, gets Oz. Then they go down to the drug den. Then Sal tells everyone, pack up all the drugs, whatever you all work for me, this and that. A fight ensues, and it's like,
does he have a heart attack?
Like he had a fucking heart attack and dies. Like, if there's a way to kill Salvatore Maroni, I feel like that was the most anticlimactic way.
No, but then it was hilarious at the fact that Oz just starts screaming at this dead man and then shoots him again. Just
shoots him.
Twice.
He shot him 7 times. He shot him 7 times.
I guess, just to make sure, or just for the hell of it, because he's just like, oh, I got you, motherfucker, I'll win. You thought you were about to win, now you're dead, bitch. That is the energy that he was screaming at him with.
That wasn't for his benefit. That was for the benefits of the guys outside who heard. Because now it's Pengu killed Salvatore Maroni.
Yeah.
In all their minds.
Yeah. I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, I was at work watching this, and I was trying not to be like, bro, that's how you fucking kill Sal? Like, my man kind of deserves better than that. A little bit. I don't know. It felt a little like they could have done that better, but it definitely proved the point of, not really the point, but it definitely drove through the narrative of now that Salvatore's finally free from prison, finally out, he never gets that benefit because he dies. Dude, he said Oz said some cold-blooded shit.
Oh yeah, because when he's talking about the smell of his wife.
Yeah, I talk about the smell of his wife's burning fucking body and shit.
No, burning hair. I didn't expect to smell the hair
spray because she went up quick, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Oz! Now's not the time. It tended to work out, but as that went through, Salvatore's phone calls one Sofia Gigante. Sorry, I don't want to piss her off. She gets a call from Salvatore's phone. Turns out it's Oz. Oz was like, "Hey, your boy Sal's
What'd you do
dead.
with my mom?"
Yeah, where's my mom? Here's a deal. We're gonna give you all the drugs. You just give me my mom. You can have everything. Just okay. G-Wagon rolls up. Gets a phone call talking this and that.
G-Wagon.
Driver gets out. Turns out Sophia's not in that car. She says she left.
But there is about 8 pounds of fucking Semtex in the G-Wagon.
Yes. He opens the door, opens the trunk, finds this giant bomb, and then all you hear is Sophia go, "There's enough time to get out." I think.
Probably. Or I think, one of the two.
Yeah. And then kaboom! Massive explosion in the center of Crown Point. Massive.
Oz takes off running. If you want to, he takes off running and doesn't warn his guys he doesn't warn his guys or anything. He just takes off. They're all like, "What's up? What happened? What is it?" And then you just see the explosion, and you see one guy with the pew pew getting too close, and he just goes.
He gets cracked upside the head and says, "Sophia wants to see you." Bow! Nightstick in the face.
By the druggy ex-detective.
Episode 7. Yeah. That's the end of episode 7. Episode 8. The finale. Anyone want to lead on the finale?
So the finale opens again with her being hypnotized by Dr. Julian, what's his fuck?
The guy who helped break Sophia out, or get Sophia out of.
Right.
Who's kind of a scumbag. I'm not going to lie.
Because
he's not kind of a scumbag. He's a very scumbag. And he is probably a placeholder for a character like Hugo Strange, who they didn't want to introduce this early. Because everything he does in the show feels like Hugo Strange shit.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I will say that DC's Doctor Strange is just as scary as Marvel's, but for very different reasons.
Is it?
Well, let's put it this way. It's a mad scientist who was smart enough to almost immediately figure out who Batman was as soon as it became relevant to something he needed.
Yeah.
But no. So we're back in time. We find out she knows she was planning on having Rex kill Oz.
Yes, which is fucking crazy. Well, because at the end of episode 7, they show the flashback of that night in no context other than they go out, have a good night together, and then that's that. Then in episode 8, you get the context of, oh, she was planning on fucking having him killed.
Yep. You know, because she was like, I need you to help me deal with this. And he's like, well, a guy like that in my line of work can be really useful. You know, but like, whatever. And then he makes her a promise, and she probably thinks, well, you know, maybe what Rex said had some bearing, and maybe, you know, he can make it up to me, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
So she was well within the buyer's remorse period of the hit, as it hadn't happened yet.
Yeah. She had time to rethink that.
You should go home and rethink your life.
I should go home and rethink my life.
So Oz gets away without getting his ticket punched,
Nice.
which was going to happen. And then we see Oz getting woke up by Sophia. Mom's in a chair. He's in a chair. They're going back and forth. Sophia's trying to tell him that she knows that he killed his brothers. He's insisting he doesn't. They threatened to cut off his mom's pinky. And he was going to let him do it. And then Sophia is so blown away by the fact that Oz was going to let it happen that she undoes the tape and lets Mother Dearest explain it. And then, you know, Mom stabs Oz. Mom starts having a stroke. Oz loses his shit.
Yes, that is
breaks the chair he's in. Uses a guy as a human shield, takes his gun, starts killing everyone. He kills everyone in that room except Sophia and Julian on his way out.
Yeah.
While having his bum leg and his mom over his shoulder.
And he was just stabbed.
And he was just stabbed in the gut.
Yeah.
Also off 3 days hospital. Nobody is paying any attention to the fact he's bleeding. They're just over here like, oh yeah, let's fix your mom. And he's just over here like, let me cover the stab wound up real quick.
I know. I love that he basically supplies. It. Yeah, I was like, bro. Shout out to Victor though for being a real good guy and just making sure he stayed with him the whole time.
I hate this show.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah, so after that, Victor comes up to him and he's basically like, stop being a pussy. You got shit to do.
Then I like how Oz just goes, how many times
you practiced that, didn't you? Yeah.
How many times you rehearsed that? It was good. It was good.
Say it more from your gut next time, but it was good. Yeah. All right, let's go. And then they go. Meanwhile, Sophia's meeting up with all the people who had already agreed to the gold summit, trying to give up all her shit because she doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. Allegedly, we never really get to find out. You know, but she promised them the house that she tried to burn down. We'll get there. I'll feed you, little birds.
She didn't try. She succeeded.
Well, we don't know how burnt it is. Okay, I do want to say something about that scene while we're here. A cigarette will not light a puddle of alcohol on fire like that, A. B, none of the alcohols that she used are flammable at room temperature.
Yeah.
It looked cool as hell, so that's all they give a fuck about.
Also,
it looked cool.
That actress, I would wager, has never smoked a cigarette in her life because of how she lit them.
Yeah.
Not to mention there was 3. It wasn't just 1 cigarette, it was 3.
It was 3.
Yeah, but still, you go from the end in, not the underneath side. Always.
Right.
Always, always. And if you're a smoker, you know that. And if you're not a smoker, you don't. So there were a couple things in that sequence of events that really kind of pulled me out of it because it's really badly written. It should have been lighter fluid and a Zippo, period. It's a classic because it works and it's how people really do shit.
Right.
You wanted to make a spectacle and it pulls fuckwits like me out of the scene. So little critique there. It did look really cool. I enjoyed the visual, really cool. But it pulled me out of the scene, man.
Yeah, I think they were going more for a cool visual than accuracy, because like if you're not a smoker, you didn't.
Well, right, but the rest of the show has gone fairly accurate, right? With like little embellishments, and then there's the huge deviation. Neither here nor there.
I'm sure gun enthusiasts, when they watch it, they'll critique how people are holding guns throughout the entire series.
Oh, no. That's how gangsters and mobsters hold guns. None of them guys have been properly trained how to use a firearm, so they all try to look cool while they're doing it. That actually makes sense. Gun enthusiast, hi.
Okay.
That's actually one thing that I like, is that they taught them all to hold the guns in varying levels of wrong, depending on how much experience they had with a gun. Because when Victor first holds a gun, he holds the gun like a fucking moron. Because when he shoots Squid, if he had really been holding the gun like that, he would have got slide bite, and that shit sucks. Chris smiles because he knows what slide bite is. It's where the slide. So when you fire a semi-automatic pistol, there's a slide on top that kicks back because it's part of the hammer mechanism. And it's a blowback receiver, which means the blowback from the bullet slides the slide back, recocks the pistol, ejects the spent round, and puts a new round ready to be fired. The thing is, if you're holding the gun like a moron, it's going to hit you, and your hand is not enough of a wall to keep it from moving the direction it's trying to move. So it will tear the fuck out of your, like, right in here, and it sucks.
Yeah. You could break your hand, you could break your thumb. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've actually met people who have had and it breaks like your thumb back here. Fucking stop it, Darwin. Like back here. And I've met people who've gotten slide bite, and it's hilarious. Because they were both in the military.
That's right. That is funny.
But they were trying to do like the gangster shoot thing to show how inaccurate you were. The pop, pop, pop.
Why you don't shoot a gun like this?
One of the many reasons you don't shoot a gun like this. Yeah. But different people hold guns in different ways depending on how experienced they are with guns. I like that. That's good. That's an attention to detail thing that made it weird for them to not have that attention to detail in that scene for me. But no, fucking. And then Link calls Victor, and he's like, "Hey, Victor, Oz has a hit on him." Link is the like second in command triad dude.
Well, so that was one thing where Victor was trying to pull him in the whole time, and Oz was like, I don't know if I could trust him, this and that. And it turned out to be useful that Link ended up being on their side.
Yeah, because when's the scene when they all pull up and Victor tries to give the same kind of energy pep talk that Oz did, and it didn't have the same effect.
Yeah, that's when he got to Crown Point.
And
after the explosion. Yeah. And no one gave a shit.
Yeah. And Link, to keep anybody from shooting Victor, walked up and punched him in the fucking gut and said, "Hey, man," and he's like, "Look, there's a time and a place, and this ain't it, bro." Sort of thing. So, next thing we know,
from the last episode, it's just I can't remember the order of events.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of shit that happened in these last 2 episodes.
Characters move around a lot, and then a lot of shit happens. It's a lot of information.
So next thing we know, Zhao pulls up on Oz with Link and crew, and he's like, "Get in, we're going for a ride."
Loser, we're going shopping.
Something like that. And they meet up with Sophia. And Zhao's like, "So are you going to kill him here, or are you going to drop him somewhere over the Pacific, see if the penguin can fly?"
Yeah, I liked that line. It was pretty good.
And Sophia notices a small smirk cross Oz's face, and you can see her immediately get concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And when Sophia's facial expression changes, Link pulls out a gun and shoots Zhao in the side of the fucking head.
I know, and then everybody turns on Sophia.
And the couple of guys that didn't turn on Zhao died immediately with Zhao, and then all of Sophia's guys die. Oz is just sitting there smiling.
Well, this all ties in because we forgot to mention that Sophia called all of the gang leaders or territory leaders. Did you actually mention that? Because I feel like we went directly into just the house fire.
Yeah, no. Before the house fire, I said she called everybody in who was part of the Gold Summit and said, "All this could be yours. All you have to do is bring me Oz."
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was like, I feel like you said it, but I like when she just looks like shocked, and then all you hear is him just go, "Let's take a ride."
And then they're in the car, just like old times, yada, yada, yada. And he's making it out like he's going to fucking offer. And then he takes her to the river. They're at the fucking river. And
well, in the car, she goes, "How'd you get Link to turn for you?" And then he goes, "I gave a shit." So you got to give people a shot. And then what does it do? It cuts to every single gang leader getting fucking killed by their second in command. Every single one in Gotham.
Okay,
because I was confused. I was like, who are these people? Why are we seeing their deaths?
Those are all people at the Gold Summit.
Yeah.
All second in commands killed everyone. And that's what Oswald really grew his thing on with people, why they liked him, because he said, "They fucking ignored you. I'm not going to ignore you." And he's, that's when she says, Oswald Cobb, man of the people.
Right.
Because as they're walking out, he has the gun, and she's like, "Well, you're not going to put the gun up to my back." And he walks her out, holds the gun, and we're just focused on her, like her side profile for a while. And then we see light and helicopter sounds. She turns around. He's gone.
Because he had a conversation with Councilman Hayden and kind of wrapped everything up in a nice, neat little bow. All the crazy shit that had happened was the fault of Sophia and Salvatore Moroni. Sal's dead. I will hand deliver you Sophia. All that fancy, dancy
he's
shit.
Like, the voters want answers.
You can be the guy who give it to him. You can be the guy who saved Crown Point. You turn the lights back on.
Mm-hmm.
We did skip that bit, but yeah. So
No,
Sophia gets picked up there.
Explain it.
Right. Sophia gets picked up there.
Hey,
next
thanks,
thing
Maul.
we know, fuck you, Maul. Next thing we know, they're at the hospital, and his mom is in a vegetative state.
That was my first. That was my first just because I heard Dave be like, "I think I know what part Bree is at," and I'm like,
"Yeah, no, that ended up not being the part we thought you were at."
Yeah, I figured out later what part y'all
we're like,
I was at.
"Oh, that's the part where she's at now." But yeah, no, that was. I had a feeling that they were either going to kill off his mom or do something.
Yeah.
Because it was building to so much.
Just kill her.
It would have been. They made her a vegetable, which is crazy.
And because I was sitting here, my reaction was of like just sitting here, mouth open, was because I was like, he made a promise. He's not going to uphold that promise, but he made a promise that if she ever gets like that, to help her move on.
Yeah, so he was never going to do.
So Oz takes Vic to the park, and they're sitting on a park bench drinking. And they share a heartfelt moment where it's like, all we got left is each other, and, you know, we're family, yada, yada, yada. And then Oz says, "I'm real sorry, Vic, but I can't do that again. I can't have that."
He's like, "I can't take you with me this time."
Because Oz realized if he has something to lose, he's not untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
So he strangles Vic to death. Takes the money out of his wallet to make it look like a robbery. He eats his ID in the river.
It was one of those, and that was the moment where you knew that Oz didn't want to do that, but he felt he had to. Because he definitely cared about Victor.
That was also because if he didn't care about Victor, he wouldn't have had to kill him.
Yeah. He would have killed him in the first episode.
Right.
He had plenty of opportunities to do it, and he didn't. But the moment that he realized, oh, I actually really give a fuck about this kid, I can't have that. He does shit like that because it's not as easy as just being like, go away, leave me alone. No, because if Vic is alive, Oz has something to care about, even if they're not working together.
Right.
And it's sad because they made a great team. Like Vic was in.
Well, but we as the audience needed a reminder that, oh yeah, this is the bad guy and a very bad man. We shouldn't be rooting for this guy.
I know. We were all like, fuck yeah, Oz. Fuck yeah. I call it Tony Soprano syndrome.
I've not seen.
Let's not pretend Tony Soprano was not a good guy, but we all loved him. Rest in peace, Gandolfini.
I never watched The Sopranos. I'm not a big fan of
mafia stuff.
Well, I'm not a big fan of shows that glorify crime. Same reason I didn't watch Orange is the New Black.
I didn't watch Orange is the New Black. I don't think it glorifies crime. It's comedy of women in prison, I think. But I can see your point.
Comedy.
I never watched it. I did watch.
I've seen bits and pieces.
I almost watched it when somebody told me there was a scene with Laura Prepon in the shower with some other chick.
Oh, Dave.
That was almost enough. Anyway.
Do we have any final opinions overall of the first season? I don't know if they're doing another season or if they're just making this the one-off.
It ends with Oswald going to a penthouse where we find his mother in a
really fancy tuxedo and top hat, a la how we expect the Penguin to look.
Mm-hmm.
I got happy when I saw the top hat.
Same.
He fulfilled the promise to his mother that he would get her a penthouse apartment with a view, even though she's now in a vegetative state and she can't obviously care about it. Then he meets with Eve, who is dressed as his mother and acts like his mother, which I found weird, but it also made a lot of sense.
I kept looking. I was like, is that Eve? No. Is he seeing things? But no, because Oswald, that's not one of his things, is seeing shit. But then I was like, that's not Eve. Is that Eve? It is Eve. It's weird, but it's Eve.
I also like that they took some cues of like what brand of crazy this Oswald is from the Oswald in Gotham.
Right.
Which was nice because he is also fucking Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
But then we get Sophia in prison. Julian is delivering her mail. And she gets a letter from Selina Kyle.
Who, if we remember correctly, in the Batman, we found out her dad is Carmine Falcone. So she gets a letter from Selina saying, yeah, she says she's your half sister.
And we don't get to see what I don't remember us getting to see what the letter says.
We
you
don't.
just see Sophia reading it and then
smile. The way that they end it all, obviously, was with Eve and Oz dancing. But as it zooms out into Gotham City, what is the last thing we see? The bat signal. And then it ends. And it's not just any bat signal. It is the bat signal from the Batman.
Oh Lord, we're all wearing nerd shirts
Also,
today.
A thing across my dash that is kind of relevant to at least Selina Kyle, played by Zoe Kravitz. Her and Channing Tatum split up.
I didn't know if that was news. I saw that and I was like, that's not news. I don't think.
I mean, they had been together for how long?
A couple of years.
Here's the crazy thing. The image people chose to go with of the two together has her in this like fancy black dress that because of the way the light is hitting it, you can see her nipple clear as day through it in this image.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
And they just made a movie together a couple months ago. I think it was back in September. Blink Twice. He stars in it. She directs it.
Am I crazy, Brie, or is that just dead ass her whole nipple?
That's her whole ass boob.
Yeah, no,
available for everyone to see.
That's a titty. Hello, titty.
Okay.
Why is that the picture?
And that's the one People magazine chose to run with, and I'm like, the first thing I saw was
People
nipple.
magazine picture.
Speaking of People magazine, I didn't know if it was considered news, but last night People magazine Sexiest Man Alive was revealed, and sure,
John Krasinski,
who's an attractive guy, but I would have put money on it being Glenn Powell.
Who the fuck is Glenn Powell?
I don't know if you would have seen any movies that he's done because he's in Top Gun Maverick. He was in Hidden Figures. He was in Twisters.
He was in The Dark Knight Rises.
Who did he play in Dark Knight Rises?
does he have a name, or is it just random background?
Traitor
I just
number
threw my vape. So yeah, he doesn't have a name. As a kid, I think he was in one of the Spy Kids movies.
He was.
All right,
yeah.
look. So I'm going to tell you right now. You know what the difference is between the person who got it and the person you think should have got it? Not enough people know who the fuck this guy is or care about him.
No,
Everybody knows who Glenn Powell is. I put money on it being Glenn Powell this year because people have been talking about him all year. It was between him and Pedro Pascal.
This is the first time I have heard his name. I disagree with you.
Dave, that's you.
We've definitely that's you, and we have all figured out that there are a lot of things you don't look at that everybody else does.
Right, but you guys haven't mentioned his name to me this year, or it would have sounded familiar.
Absolutely,
I mentioned it when I reviewed Twisters.
We talked about Glenn Powell a lot.
Okay, time out. There is a difference between you thirst trapping over someone. I usually ignore those people, Bree.
Anywho, let's not shit on poor Glenn Powell anymore. I mean, John Krasinski's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And he nabbed himself Emily Blunt, who is also a very beautiful woman.
He's also been famous for more than the last 6 months.
Well, I guess he's also, it's better than when Blake Shelton was Sexiest Man Alive. That was a questionable one.
Also, Glenn Powell has been famous in the world for a lot longer than the last 6 months, but that's neither here
You get what I'm saying, though.
Sure.
Sexiest Man Alive is usually somebody who's been in the public spotlight for a decade and is a household name. John Krasinski makes sense. Ryan Reynolds made sense.
Ryan Reynolds is gorgeous.
The other guy's name,
dude,
who I can't remember.
Shout out to Krasinski and Emily Blunt have been married for 14 years.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and they're like when you see them together, they are so much still in love with each other.
Oh my god, and because they have 2 kids, I know that.
It's watching them together is almost like watching Ryan and Blake together.
Ryan and Blake might be the only celebrity couple I actually keep up with. Because
they're so adorable.
Tom and Zendaya.
I do love Tom and Zendaya are great because you want to talk about who just like are best fucking friends besides being like engaged. It's Tom and Zendaya.
Bree, remind me, I have a question if I remember what it is after the show. I don't necessarily want to ask it on air.
Okay.
Fair.
It's speculation, and I don't want to, you know what I mean? Unless I can corroborate a change that I feel like I have seen. We'll talk later.
Okay. What was next? Agatha. I was like, what was next on the show sheet? Agatha.
We have a few Marvel trailers and a couple Marvel things to talk about before we get into it. We have a special look from D23 at the Thunderbolts, which will be in theaters next year, which I am excited for.
Because D23 Brazil was this last weekend, so a bunch of different news and stuff. There's also a Percy Jackson teaser that I saw earlier today. I haven't actually seen it yet, but I saw that it's out there and I forgot to send it.
Oh, do we have a Percy? Well, we could talk about Percy Jackson next week because
you see why I didn't want to ask that on air, though, Chris.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think so, but I also haven't really heard much, so I don't know.
Right.
We also have another official trailer for Captain America: Brave New World, and we have a trailer for season 3 of What If. So we can definitely roll all of those, Dave, whenever you're ready for that.
We're doing them in the order they appear, Thunderbolts being first.
Which is perfect.
What a great trailer, huh, guys? All right, moving on to the next. No, I'm kidding.
You guys want to watch it again? I should share it. And there, I guess. Yeah. Cool.
Nice push.
Oh, America's so big. You ever drive through Oklahoma? It's so flat.
You got a convoy approaching fast. Step on it.
The car even says Red Guardian.
Come on, baby.
Okay, a bit faster, please.
Lexi!
Okay, don't worry. Engaging defensive measures.
Oh my god.
Wait, that's not so.
Oh my god.
Luca, shield!
Okay.
Is that
Yeah, okay.
It's a winter soldier.
I-
That guy is so cool.
That guy is so cool.
That's what I talk about.
That's not good.
Oh shit!
How crazy is it to think of all the monumental fights that happened exactly here where you're standing? I mean, the place wasn't cheap, but it's got good optics. Look at you. You are all so adorable.
Eat shit, Valentina. The assignment is... Oh, wait, hang on. Assignment is complete.
What kind of super serum did you get?
I don't know, regular. Hydra.
Hydra. Oh, fancy.
Who is this old Santa?
The Red Guardian.
What?
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow ops. Contract kills.
And you, former Red Room assassin. God only knows the blood on your hands.
Pretty ludicrous coming from the dime store Captain America.
I'll have you know I was actually the official Captain America, so.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
Struck a nerve.
It's getting so tense in here.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
And Bob.
Hydra Bob!
It's Bob!
We're just touristing.
Hang on. That's concerning. Because that's not
he's
Hydra
alright.
Bob. Hydra Bob is
No.
just a dude. This is someone else.
We're just touristing.
I love Bob already. I don't know Bob, but I love Bob.
And we don't have purpose. You can't escape the past.
I know Century was confirmed for this movie.
So you can either do something about it now, or live with it forever.
Just punch and shoot.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
Thank God.
The Thunderbolts. It's a cool name.
David Harbour, please never change.
Cool name.
Hang on. Thunderbolts. Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Well, now we know who bought Avengers Tower.
Which I said in the first trailer.
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't say it, but like, just her saying monumental fights that have occurred here.
Well,
It
and then
wasn't
just
cheap.
look at it.
Like-
It looks like Avengers Tower.
That looks like the bar that Tony was at when he said, "We have a Hulk."
Yeah. That
And the
also
bar
looks like the bar.
that same Hulk stood in front of when he said, "Puny
It's-
God."
And he
Um,
smashed Loki. Yeah.
before he
was the bar.
smashed Loki. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, before he smashed. Because
I have a
Hulk
Loki.
fucks.
I can do this.
That is pretty accurate of what happened. Yeah.
Okay, so in the beginning, when they had her shooting at the armored car with a pistol, and then the back of it blew up, and I was like, oh, I fucking hate this already. But then when they all looked confused that it happened, I'm like, oh, wait, no, nope, something else is going on. Oh, there's a Bucky. Okay, everything makes more sense.
The best part
That
of
is the Winter Soldier. That guy is so cool.
The look on John's face, and he just goes, wait, is that Bucky?
Bucky?
and
no,
Bucky,
it's the Winter Soldier.
Oh, shit.
My favorite part is just them bullying John, the dime store Captain America. I was the official Captain America
for like 2 seconds, and then just you.
That is their version of the scene. Everything special about you came out of a bottle, is what that is.
Yes.
What
serum did you get? The regular one, Hydra or Hydra? Fancy. Fancy.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited for this movie.
Yeah, Thunderbolts is going to be good. This one I'm also excited for. The next one for Captain America: Brave New.
Also, since the last time we talked about David Harbour, I have had no less than 3 people I don't know tell me I look like David Harbour.
You fucking do, and it's not a bad thing. David Harbour is
a
good actor and be a great dude. He's just
David
fucking
Harbour
big.
mixed with Vincent D'Onofrio.
I mean, that's still not a bad combination. Both are great actors. Both are good guys. Both
One of them is significantly better looking than the other, though.
True.
In a conventional
That would be
sense,
Vincent.
yes.
I mean, David Harbour.
Anywho.
No, I'm excited for it. Next up, we got Captain America: Brave New World, which, again, Marvel, good on you for almost immediately realizing that the title Captain America: New World Order was a terrible fucking idea.
Well, that's because the internet fucking blew up when they figured out that that was the name, so they had to fix it.
Everyone was like, bro, this is not a good idea. Don't do this.
We start with our favorite former Fuck Team 5 hero, whose name I can't remember, but he was...
Isaiah Bradley.
Bradley, thank you. He was also Captain America for a while.
In the comics, yeah.
Unofficially. Oh, you're talking about in the comics.
I would say
but I'm also talking about in the MCU. He is probably the guy who Red Guardian fought when he talks about having fought Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
So it'll be interesting if we ever see those two meet. Oh, also, I just want to mention that having Possum Kingdom by the Toadies be the theme song for the Thunderbolts is fucking incredible.
I know.
All right, let's go.
You asked for me. Here I am. You want to help me? Is there anything you remember?
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful. What do we know?
There were 5 shooters. This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. Now I'm a wartime president.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Let me fix it.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
Wait for it. We're on the brink of war. I can't trust anyone. Nothing about this feels right.
Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Someone's been pulling the strings on everything.
You're under arrest?
I don't want a variable out there that I can't control.
Stop!
Captain America, caught without his wings.
You like to play dress up and blindly execute the state's orders.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
What if this is a trap?
You don't even know what this is.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
Can we talk about the irony in which Ross becomes Red Hulk after how much he fucking hunted Bruce Banner?
And
So it looks like him becoming
cool.
Red Hulk was an accident in this one. And
Yeah.
most of the storylines in the comics where he becomes Red Hulk, he does it on purpose to hunt Banner.
He does. Yeah, which is so petty.
And like, it's cool that it's Harrison Ford, but like, I would have loved to have seen it be William Hurt. R.I.P. William Hurt.
Oh yeah. I mean, but if you're gonna
But
recast,
Harrison Ford.
it has to be Harrison Ford. It can't be anyone else unless you call up fucking Clint Eastwood.
There
Clint Eastwood's
is
like 90 though.
exactly one other option that I can think of.
Who?
The problem is he's already in the MCU with someone else.
James Spader?
Uh-huh.
No, he's Ultron, and he's an amazing.
Oh, yeah,
Ultron.
no. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't not have him be Ultron.
As
He's
soon
as
you said
yeah.
that, I was like, no, I know exactly where you're going with. But James Spader plays such an amazing bad guy
Mm-hmm.
that
Well, I think James
it would
Spader
work.
also plays Thaddeus Ross in some of the cartoons.
he might. I think there's a chance.
Or
James
someone who
Spader's
sounds like him,
amazing.
maybe.
Shout out to the Blacklist, which is great. So shout out to Boston Legal, which is where like he mainly gained his fame. We love us some James Spader.
I'm so excited for this movie.
This
It's
movie, dude, it
ridiculous.
looks so good.
It
All
will
right,
become
so-
my entire personality.
So
Right.
there is a character who they are being very careful not to show us in that trailer.
Giancarlo Esposito.
No.
Because
No,
we
no, no.
see him a little bit, but we
We
still don't
see
have
him a little bit.
name.
I'm talking, there are scenes where people are talking to someone off screen that we never get to find out who it is.
Yeah.
There is another
That
character who is important there. And I think it's one of 3 people.
It's not going to be who I want it to be.
Who do you want it to be? Oh, yeah, no way in hell.
Because Chris has even said that he doesn't want to come back to do Captain America while Sam is Captain America because he doesn't want to
He's
take
dead.
the attention away from. Because we don't have a confirmation on, like, he's probably dead, but we don't have a confirmation on it yet. But people have asked, would you ever pick up the shield again? And he's been like, no, because I don't want to take the attention away from Sam as Cap.
But the thing was, is at this point in 616, Steve is old.
As Hale.
Hang on, time out. You're both forgetting someone else who we saw in the last Captain America TV show. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. and it's a her.
Well, they.
What's her face there?
Sharon.
Yep.
Fucking Sharon. What was
Sharon?
It could be
Is
Sharon.
pretty much confirmed to be the leader of Madripoor.
It could be Baron Zemo.
It could be Baron Zemo. He is still alive.
He's in a Wakandan prison, isn't he?
That it's Baron fucking Zemo. That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
It's Wakanda.
Right.
Ulysses Claw was able to steal vibranium from Wakanda. I have a little more faith in Baron Zemo than I do Ulysses Claw. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
He got dead.
You want to hear? We never got to hear Claw's mixtape.
We didn't. And it's a shame because I
wanted
love
to hear
Andy Serkis.
I know.
For those of you who don't know, Andy Serkis is the one who played Gollum, not only in voice, but he did all of the fucking mocap for Gollum too.
He did. Also,
if you need
Star Wars
someone,
fans, he was
if you need someone to be in mocap, just call Andy Serkis because he's also Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movie.
He is Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movie. Yeah,
but,
he was.
Benedict Cumbersnatch, was Smaug.
Dragon.
Smaug.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
And have you seen him doing the mocap for that?
I have.
It's so wild because, like, he gets into it, man.
People make fun of him, but Benedict Cumberbatch is a fantastic
I love him
actor.
so much. And honestly, you want to know what my favorite role of his is?
What?
Sherlock.
Everyone's favorite autistic detective, Sherlock fucking Holmes.
That tracks.
I think that is his best role because that is such a hard role to do as correctly as he did, and it's so easy to fuck it up.
Benadryl cucumber patch.
This poor man.
No matter how much you fuck up his name, someone will know.
You know exactly who you're talking about. I don't know. My favorite role was him as Khan in fucking Star Trek Into Darkness. If I had to pick one.
I wish they had made him anyone. I wish they had kept the story exactly the same and just not made him Khan. Because the thing is, Khan only means something to the people who watch the old ones. That was supposed to be a reboot. And because it was a reboot, that was the first time they had ever interacted with Khan. The name didn't mean anything to anyone. But they kept saying it like it should. And that is why my one issue with that movie.
I'm looking at Benadryl Kumquat's filmography, and I'm going to be honest, the only roles I know him for is Doctor Strange and another movie.
You care to share with the class? Long, settled silence. Got it. Oh, you can say that.
Well, I don't know, because I don't want to get in trouble.
As long as you don't say the N-word, pretty much everything else is on the table.
Who is going to yell at you for saying that?
And of the three of us, you are probably the only one who could get away with that first thing I said.
Exactly.
So, you know.
But yeah, the main roles I know, the main role I know him for. You say Benedict Cumberbatch, and my brain goes to Doctor Strange.
I mean,
I know he's Sherlock, but I haven't seen the show.
Oh my God, you need to. It is the best modernization of Sherlock Holmes ever.
I know
I've seen
And House stands, I will fight you.
Don't remember it.
My favorite Sherlock Holmes movie is the Will Ferrell one. Holmes and Watson.
No. Okay, first off, but that's not a modernization. And I said modernization.
There's
Second
Sherlock
off,
Gnomes.
it's one of the reasons I hate Will Ferrell. Is that movie?
See, I love Will Ferrell. I love
because
Will Ferrell.
Sherlock Holmes is my favorite character of all time.
No, I
Have
know.
you heard of Sherlock Gnomes?
Oh my god.
This is our last ever episode of Less Than Normal, I just found out, guys.
Also, fun
because
fact,
everyone else is going to die.
Did you know that Benedict Cumberbatch was also a necromancer in The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey? He was two different characters in two different Hobbit films.
So the necromancer in The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey is Sauron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. But he also does Smaug.
Yeah. Back to Captain America. Because you were saying a character that that they weren't really showing. I thought you were talking about
Giancarlo Esposito.
Torres. No, I thought that's who you were talking about at first, and then I was like, "Are you talking about Torres? Joaquin? That's his name."
Joaquin.
Because we see him in one clip, and we see like the back of his costume, but we don't get a like full.
Right.
I'm sure if you
No,
pause
I
it,
mean
'cause
someone
there
they
is
don't
definitely a
show.
scene-
They go to great lengths to not show at all.
There has to be, yeah. There has to be someone behind this, and I feel like
I
Sharon
think it's.
is somehow
I think
involved.
Sharon is a good call. But another good call, especially since we get a Red Hulk, is the leader.
Ooh. That would make sense to the story they're telling.
We haven't seen since The Incredible Hulk, if I remember correctly.
Correct. But the leader doesn't pop up very often because he's super intelligent, spends so much time planning and hiding in the shadows, planning and pulling strings. He works a lot the same way Doom does, to be honest.
Which I'm sure we'll be seeing very soon.
I'm also still trying to figure out whose funeral that is, because now we see it's not Ross's, because he's at the funeral. Whose funeral is it, Marvel? Don't make me cry again.
Listen. You have to be prepared for that.
There's not enough preparing. I tried to prepare before Wakanda Forever, and I still bawled like a bitch that entire movie.
Okay. I will help you out. It's 80s Captain America who was in prison. That's whose funeral it is.
Instead of being...
Because Isaiah?
I think it's Isaiah, yeah. The leader is going to be in the next Captain America. Where are you getting this information from, Ricky?
Hi, Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
But it's nice to have someone agree with me. I mean, not that you two don't usually, but...
I think you also mentioned that we could probably see the leader when we saw the first teaser trailer, because we were trying to decide who Giancarlo Esposito's character was going to be, and then I know you said something about the leader, but it's not Giancarlo Esposito.
No. Although, if you want a bad guy, Giancarlo Esposito plays a real fucking good one. Well, I say we move into What If Season 3, the official trailer for that, which believe that comes out in December.
December 22nd. Oh, look.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing a play-by-play on that one, just like we did with Pengu and WandaVision 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I mean, we did a breakdown of Season 2 of What If as well.
Right.
We did a Power Up pub for the first season.
We did.
Also, shout out to Pucked Up.
Shout out to the now defunct Power Up Pub.
Yeah. Might come back one day, you never know.
Well, bam. I already have questions. Who the fuck is this bitch?
Is that Monica Rambeau?
Monica.
Yeah.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
We're both like,
because
wait,
my
is that
brain was
Monica
trying
Rambeau?
to have it be Riri in some way, and then it almost because okay, is it Monica because they are wearing the same costume almost?
It looks like Monica.
No, it's her in her costume from the
Photon.
Marvels. The Photon
Okay.
costume. It's just, they look similar.
White Vision.
Robo Chick,
It's
Riri.
Riri.
Wait,
Riri. Red Guardian and Winter Soldier.
Bucky!
I have a problem with this Red Guardian. He's not chubby and old.
He's
All right, moving on.
He's not David Harbour. Who is that?
Let's begin.
That? We just met her sister.
Oh shit. Okay. That makes more sense. Continue.
Let's begin. Up for an adventure?
Watcher.
Always.
Yeehaw?
To understand, you must learn to see.
What exactly are you proposing? It's showtime.
Here we go!
Yeah, more Howard the Duck.
I'm a duck.
More
Howard the Duck. More fucking Kat Denning.
Yes.
Yes, more Darcy.
That's
I
her
love
name,
Dar-
Darcy. I love Kat Denning. I don't care who she's
Kat
playing.
Dennings, dude, she's amazing.
Even in animation.
I need to watch Nick and Nora's Infinite playlist again, I think.
You should watch Two Broke Girls. That shit's so funny.
Nope, because the blonde
I've
gal
seen-
annoys the shit out of me. I want to
Does
throw
she?
her under a bus.
I love that
I've
show.
seen
It's
so
just
many
fun.
clips of that show that makes
It's
me
so funny.
want to watch it.
I was born to fly. Strap in.
The other way, Howie.
There you go. Dormammu.
Dormammu.
Come the bargain.
If we all go down,
Jesus? Hang on.
You saw that, right?
Jesus? I
think that's Jesus. Hold on. Jesus is
it might be
Marvel canon.
ego. It might be ego.
It could be. You know what? It would make sense being ego.
It would make more
We did
sense for it
see
to be
him.
ego than Jesus at this point.
But it's
Wait,
funnier.
it's our Jesus movie.
Jesus is Marvel canon. Let's go. We're already in this.
Marvel Jesus.
the world will be left to
According to Deadpool, that's Deadpool. Could be Zeus.
It's Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
It is.
It's Mark.
This is the shot we have. We may not get another one.
Hold on.
Let's finish it.
Oh, we're good to go.
No, fucking I
are they
can't.
forming
You are
fucking
not. You
Voltron?
are fucking no.
Assemble.
It's a Megazord. Yes. Yes. They assembled Voltron.
The ship of Theseus?
This is where your story ends. Story ends.
Sorry, this.
That's Mysterio.
Uh-huh. But
Is
what does it look like he's hooked up
Gyllenhaal?
to? Because that kind of looks like Loki's chair.
Yup.
I also think I saw Sentinels in there somewhere.
We just saw, and then we just saw Celestial.
What if?
Hold on.
Dude, I'm so glad I'm rewatching What If right now.
Maybe it's time that we called in some help.
Cohorty! Oh shit!
Yeah, bitch!
Bro!
Was that?
Marvel!
No, time out. Listen to her voice. I didn't go back far enough. Who is that?
Let's see if they have a cast list out yet.
Because that voice sounds familiar.
I wonder, is it not the X-Men? Voice.
It is. It is.
It is
Allison
what?
Seymour Smith, who is reprising her role from X-Men the Animated Series and X-Men 97 as Storm.
Okay, I thought so. I'm like, because that sounds like the Storm, animated Storm I remember from, childhood. All right, so I want to go through these flashes of faces.
I'm just happy.
So we have the Watcher.
I'm excited for What If. I don't know why. I'm excited for this.
Because it looks so good.
That's Caecilius, I think.
I was going to say.
It is. It's Caecilius. Yeah. I don't know.
At first, I was going to say Bruce, but I was like, no, that.
This is the one, though.
Yup.
You know who this is, don't you?
Tell the class,
also from
Dave.
X-Men. This is
Colossus?
Apocalypse. No, this is Apocalypse.
That is Apocalypse. Holy shit, that's right. Also, did anyone else catch Arishem?
Arishem.
Keep going back. I 100% saw him. Because I was like, do we have fucking Celestials in this now?
Was it earlier in the trailer?
You keep going back.
I'm going backwards. Okay. Who is this?
I almost gave an answer, then I was like, that's DC. I almost said Hawk Girl.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not Hawk Girl, because that was my knee-jerk reaction, too.
It's got to be...
Red
there's
hair.
got to be more kind of mutants in this.
Right, but the only mutant with feathered wings I can think of is Archangel, who's a dude and blonde.
Archangel, yeah. I don't know.
I can't tell if the wings are attached or if they're growing out, or if they're like growing
No,
out of
they're
her.
instead of arms.
Is it Birdie?
I
did
don't
see
know.
that on the cast list. Natasha Lyonne is supposed to be.
There,
I saw that
right
on the
there.
cast list.
You just passed him.
This?
No, other way. Nope. Right there.
Oh, yeah, it's
That
a
is
Celestial. Yeah.
Fucking Celestial. Meaning, what are the odds that we see at least one of the Eternal?
The Ultron bots with white vision.
Yep.
I would like to point out the giant mecha Captain America.
It's a fucking...
Some of the other Watchers telling off Uatu. Bruce Banner is the Hulk. Yondu. Caecilius again.
Caecilius.
A queen.
That's Eternity.
Smash.
That is Eternity.
Counterpart to Death.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
That's Monica.
This is
again.
Captain Marvel, but the other one.
Yeah.
That's the ship of Theseus. That's Noah's Ark.
Are we actually getting Jesus? The ultimate crossover.
Hang on.
Is that
Hang on.
David Harbour?
Yeah.
We
that
have
might be David Harbour.
we have
2 Red Guardians?
nope, this isn't Red Guardian. That's Ironmonger.
Oh shit. Dude,
That's the
we are
original that's Obadiah fucking Stane. What?
Please be Jeff Bridges. Please be Jeff Bridges.
Tell me that doesn't look like Obadiah Stane though.
It does. It does. Just like him.
Please be Jeff Bridges again.
Okay, hang on. Those guys look
Captain
like they're
America.
dressed like X-Force, but I think that's to throw us off. The cowboy shit is weirding me out. I have no fucking clue.
Supposed to be Shang-Chi?
I think so. Because I know he's confirmed for this season.
Is that who that's supposed to be? Is Shang-Chi?
And it's just, I guess,
You know
takes
what?
place in the Wild West.
Sure.
With Voltron? As a fucking...
More giant robot shit.
It's so dumb. I love it.
It looks like Voltron. There's David Harbour.
This is the Red Guardian we know. The Moon Knight Zord looks the
coolest. Yeah.
Why are we blowing up Saturn?
Yeah, that's a good question.
All right, moving on. Ironheart. You know how you can tell?
It looks like she has the. It looks like she has that white mask on that Captain Marvel had on. When she's
it does kind
around.
of look like that, except there's a blue glowing heart in the middle of her chest, which is exclusively an Ironheart thing.
Hooray!
And then there's Mark Spector.
Looking at his fucking Zord.
Was that Wong?
Jesus.
Yeah, fucking Marvel Jesus.
Jesus, Zeus. Oh, lightning bolt.
It's Zeus.
Once the gamma goes down, it's Zeus.
Please be Russell Crowe.
Dormammu.
I need Russell Crowe back.
Howie and Darcy. Who would make an adorable couple if it wasn't bestiality, by the way.
That's very true.
It's showtime.
Who the fuck is that
Oh,
woman?
wait, no, we did see an Eternal. I think. Is that not Kamal Nanjiani in the background?
I think it is,
That's
yeah.
who that looks like.
And I think she's one of the other Eternals.
I know that's Valkyrie in the back. Who is that in the front?
Shang-Chi's lady friend, maybe? I don't fucking know. Okay, but this whole thing with the blue glowing eyes is weirding me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Nick Fury, Phil Coulson, and 2 Ultron bots.
Don't call him Phil. His first name is Agent.
No. Anyway.
From Avengers?
That's what, Tony
I
says
know.
that in Avengers. And it's funny.
Yeah, no, this is Riri. This isn't Captain Marvel. This is Riri. I was wrong.
Oh, yeah, because is that a Black Panther collar around her neck?
Yep.
I think so.
Yep.
I think she might be Black Panther, yeah. Which everyone kind of thought was a thing that would happen.
Space Titanic? Checks out.
That was my first thought. Yeah.
Who the fuck is this bitch?
Hold on. Play that part with her talking? Bro. Is that fucking Agatha?
She is also confirmed.
Always.
I mean, she is wearing purple, so that would make sense. But she doesn't have the brooch.
And it doesn't sound like Catherine Hahn. But she only
Catherine
says
Hahn
one
is
thing. So it's...
supposedly in the show. I guess we're just gonna have to wait.
This is probably one of the Eternals then. Because I thought this was a representation of Eternity, but we see a better representation of Eternity. Wait, no, but when we see her later, Eternity, she's wearing this headdress.
Yes.
I was saying, because if it's an Eternal, that would be Salma Hayek's character. What was her name? She died. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say she dies.
Ajax, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, we see this, I feel like it's this same character later as Eternity.
Is it later into the trailer?
You know who else that could be? With Shang-Chi?
Who?
Kate Bishop? Because that sounded like Haley Steinfeld. Like, if you play it back, I guarantee you would all be like, oh yeah, that's Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, he's trying to find Eternity.
Let's begin. Up for an adventure?
Always.
Yeah, that's fucking Haley Steinfeld.
Yep, that's Vi.
That's Kate Bishop.
That's Vi.
Yeah.
And she also wears purple.
Yeah. I know, I immediately thought of Vi, too. Sorry, guys, we didn't expect this to turn into a breakdown of the trailer.
The What If trailer is always packed with so much shit in it, though.
Is that an Avengers A?
Uh-huh.
Yes, because at first
In the remains of a dead planet.
4, but it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, What If is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm watching through What If again right now.
I'm excited for What If. I don't know how they did it, but I am happy.
You fucking hate What If.
It's not. I like certain episodes.
Hate Peggy.
It's not even that I hate Peggy. It's that it's supposed to be a show of like what if with lots of different characters, and it feels like they just wanted to. What's the word I'm looking for?
So What If in the comics, sometimes it's just a, hey, what if this? But a lot of times there is an overarching theme to a run of What If comics that all tell one story together where all of these different worlds cross over.
Yeah.
The show has done exactly what the comics do. You just weren't expecting it, and it made you mad sad.
Because, like, I like episode 4 of season 1. That's the Doctor Strange episode. I like the zombies episode. I like the episode in season 2 with Kahori. Like, there's certain episodes I really like, but overall, it's just.
I like the episode of What If T'Challa became Star-Lord.
That's my least favorite episode.
Because I love the whole time Thanos is telling everyone it is his idea that T'Challa saved her from it, and everyone's like, yeah, that's just genocide, my guy.
See, because there are episodes I don't like that don't even have Peggy in it. Like, I don't like the Party Boy Thor episode. I don't like that episode.
Oh, I do, but it makes sense. That is just kind of who Thor was prior to the hammer debacle. What?
Yeah, that's true.
If Loki wasn't his brother, then yeah, that was kind of just what he was.
No. Even with Loki as his brother, prior to Daddy taking his hammer away, he was also just Party Boy Thor.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true. I wonder what doorways this show will open up for future Marvel content.
Well, we have gotten Marvel's Zombies confirmed and a little bit teased from this. And it's supposed to be TVMA. Like, it's supposed to be mature.
What?
Are those words, Finn?
Flight control
Yeah.
peripherals.
That's right. Viking can actually fly. Which is kind of badass. Yeah, anyway. It has been reported, apparently, that Denzel Washington will be casted in Black Panther 3.
Ryan Coogler, apparently, I saw an interview clip. I didn't watch it, but I saw it popped up when I was like scrolling through trying to find stuff for this week. And there is an interview clip where apparently he is talking about it and talking about how Ryan Coogler is specifically writing a role for Black Panther 3 for Denzel Washington.
I mean,
and then Denzel Washington went on to say that he doesn't have that many movies left in him and he will be retiring within the next couple years.
Yeah, that's fair. Listen, I am all here for Denzel being in the fucking MCU. Like, the fact that he's not is shocking.
Is
so,
it?
It is.
Well, where would we have put him until Black Panther came out?
That's fair. I know there's some roles we could probably have put him in. I'm sure there's something we could have come up with.
I mean, early doors, he would have been a decent pick to play Rhodey instead of
Don Cheadle. Yeah.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, but now I look at Don Cheadle and I'm like, no one else can be Rhodey.
Terrence Howard tried.
Nobody else can be Rhodey. I love Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard was not a good
Rhodey. No. I used to be okay with Terrence Howard, and now Terrence Howard is trying to undo years of math for people, and he can fall off a cliff. Dude, he's out there trying to tell people 1 × 1 = 2. And he's serious.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Anyway,
yeah. So, I mean, I'm hyped. Obviously, I very much so. I'm one of the people apparently that really liked Wakanda Forever. But I liked it for what it was and not what it could have been, because what it was supposed to be was obviously a very different movie. But it's hard to make a movie without the character. So for what it was, which was just a straight up love letter to Chadwick Boseman, I cried in the theater. Very much so.
I cried the minute the movie started. I continued to cry for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
I was not okay.
It's one of those where you liked it for a certain like reason, but like overall the movie was okay. I think they did a good job with Namor.
Yeah, I like Namor. I like Namor for the most part. Not everything needs to be tied to an ethnic group. I understand why they did it, but it also kind of confuses things a little, because what the fuck did the Aztecs have to do with the Wakandans? They're kind of very far away from each other. It makes more sense if, Wakanda being near the Mediterranean Sea by most accounts, if Atlantis had been, in the Mediterranean Sea where historically people have kind of put it, then that interaction and them knowing each other exists, etc., makes sense. Right? So them kind of re-engineering that brings a lot of other things into question. But this is from I like there to be logic in storytelling, and I I don't understand the reason for the change other than because it does
put out Aquaman.
Do what?
I said maybe it's they were trying to avoid like a DC issue where people are like, "Hey, they did that shit in Aquaman."
Yeah, and Aquaman existed first. Namor was Marvel's response to Aquaman in the comics way back when. Namor is just a bad ripoff of Aquaman, an already shit superhero. Namor does a couple things differently in that he's an anti-hero or a villain instead of a hero, and he can fly.
With little wings on his feet.
And that's about it.
That Riri rips off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were lots of things I loved about that movie. I love Riri. And all of the shit at like the college with her and the fucking ladies being like, "No, you have to come with us." That was cool.
M'Baku
Casting
is
for Riri
always great.
Look, Winston Duke
I would
is
climb like a tree.
okay. Wasn't gonna go there.
I always go there.
That's fair.
She is the thirstiest person on the planet.
Well, when you're very alone, you have to be delusional.
Isn't there a dude sitting next to you?
No, there's nobody sitting next to me.
I was gonna say, you are not alone currently, so shut up. Anyway, yes, moving right the fuck along to yet another tangent, because we're real good at that here. Agatha all along. The final
Amazing.
2 episodes.
No notes.
I know. I honestly, I don't have anything negative to say about it.
I want to start by saying that, again, I fucking called it. Because you remember when I pointed out that all of the shit on the road looked like the trees looked like the trees from his bar mitzvah, and all of the shit in his room was like looked like shit they found. That's because he made it all. The road existed because he manifested it.
Yeah. As soon as like he started having like those little flashbacks of stuff he was touching in his room, the second I was like, holy fuck, Billy made the road.
And it should have clicked the second that we started talking about like the stuff in his room, like the Wizard of fucking Oz fucking figurines. We were talking about that. And it didn't even click in my head that Agatha was dressed as the fucking Wicked Witch in the episode we talked about last.
Also, the fact that they didn't bring any attention to Rio cutting a hole and walking out of what looked like a set, and Agatha didn't even say anything, and I'm sitting there, I was like, okay, immediately I was like, okay, this isn't real. Where are they actually?
Okay, but to be fair, if the dagger she has is a specific dagger that I don't remember its name from mythology,
it cuts through time.
No. It cuts through the barriers between realms.
Right. But my favorite part is they don't even try to make it look like it's not a set.
She just fucking slices it, looks, and walks through, and we're all like,
that was such a set. Was that supposed to look like a set? Y'all are Disney. You didn't run out of money.
No, that had to have been on purpose. Imagine Disney running out of money.
Oh yeah, it's a sitcom reference, just like everything else in the show.
Yeah.
Trying to remember what else happens in not the finale, but the episode before that, other than like the big parts that all happen towards the end.
Well, so realistically, we start off with Alice and Rio taking Alice, and Alice being upset. She goes, "There's got to be more. This isn't it." And
This
then
is
you
like
just
my
hear
beginning. I'm supposed to do something
Rio
good. I
goes,
just
"If
had
I
the curse
a
lifted.
nickel." Because you're a protection witch. You died protecting someone.
And Alice is like, and she gets that kind of fucking fine. And then they go off.
Then Lilia gets taken by Rio.
But Jen survived. Period. Yes.
Jen did
Bad
survive.
Bitch. Oh yeah, because they go into the final test.
Well, that doesn't happen yet. They trip over their shoes, realizing the road is a circle.
Yep.
Billy goes, "We took off our shoes to respect the road. Screw the road."
Screw the road.
Sticks his feet in his shoes, and then they end up waking up in body bags in a morgue.
So, couple of things I want to point out. First off, I think. Well, okay. So Lilia drew a black heart for Billy because she couldn't write down his name.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the time where Lilia was delivering that information, she didn't know Billy was the thing, so the sigil was still intact.
Mm-hmm.
Billy was supposed to be one of the 5 witches on the road.
Right.
Now, even though the road is a manifestation of Billy's subconscious, we find out, it still follows all the rules.
Yeah.
Because he believes. So.
Which means if he's supposed to be there, does that make him a green witch?
No, because
Sharon Davis wasn't supposed to be there.
Who?
Mrs.
Hart.
Mrs. Hart.
Garden lady. Well, I mean, Rio ended up being the Green Witch, and Jen goes, she literally told us who she was right away.
I'm less a Green Witch and more the Green Witch, which I brought up at that point in episode 2, and I'm like, look, there are a couple of options here, and the one that's glaring to me, green magic is all about the circle of life and death. Also, Ria Vidal means river of life.
It made sense
Spanish.
That she was death.
It made sense that she was death. Plus, we'd only ever seen her in like black hoods.
Yeah.
Except when they were on the like, there were a whole bunch of things where like, hey, she's death, by the way.
And I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but not plot wise. I just want to mention, because when I was watching the episodes, and we see Rio with the death look, I was like, that looks too good to be CGI, but it also looks too good to be practical. It is a combination. It is mostly practical with CGI enhancements. I spent too much time looking that up, trying to figure it out, because it looks too good
so
to be
good.
CGI.
It looks real.
Yeah, it is practical.
And somehow, with half her face missing, she still manages to look hot.
I know. Well, it's just Aubrey Plaza. So,
oh yeah, I took notes. Where are my notes?
They're probably the thirstiest notes. So yeah, they wake up in body bags. One thing leads to another. I love the line. I love the line before that, where they talk about can potions and earthly magic mix. She goes, I don't know, Jennifer Kale. Your name is literally a vegetable, and it's not even a good one. It tastes like you're eating a doily. I was like, okay. But yeah, we find out that Agatha
I agree
is
with
one
the
that
commentary on Kale, though. Kale is awful.
Oh, Kale is disgusting. We find out that Agatha is the one who put the binding spell on Jen. So what does Jen do? She unbinds herself
And
and
then
then
poof, all gone.
disappears because she got what she wanted from the road.
Queen.
I know we love Jen.
And then Agatha sits and helps Billy figure out a vessel for Tommy to fill.
The
We'll
best
say
line when all of it's happening, when Billy goes, Agatha, am I killing this boy so my brother can live? And then Billy disappears. To Agatha responding, no. Sometimes boys just die.
and then
it
the ground
leads you
cracks
right-
and she does a thing. But I would like to point out that before all this, we did skip an important thing. The Green Witch, Rio, told Agatha, she's like, that boy is an abomination.
He's messing
He's
with the
not
natural.
supposed to exist.
She's like, I can't have Tommy. I can't have him bring his brother back.
Oh,
And
yeah,
she's
that
like,
is
"Why
Okay,
don't
so
you
why
just
don't you
kill
just
him?"
take him?
Then she goes, you can't kill him because he'll just reincarnate and you won't know where he is. Then she goes, I'll make him surrender himself, but when I die, I don't want to see you.
Leave me alone, bitch.
Yeah, well, we find out later why, but
Right. Which I get, and it's heartbreaking.
oh yeah, well, the whole beginning sequence of the last episode is very heartbreaking.
But yeah, they So
they all
basement,
escape.
dandelion fuzzy, plant, tears, grow lights, sprout, Agatha free.
Because she pulls off in the locket is a piece of his hair, but then there's also the seed behind it.
Yeah. So everyone, whatever, Billy goes back to his new parents. That's when he walks around his room, starts looking at stuff, and then goes, I created the road. And then right here is the laughter behind him.
And he turns around and then you hear, "Ooh."
And then the episode ends.
No. Is the episode before the finale, is that not... That's when all the final battle.
Oh yeah,
stuff
he
happens.
skipped all over. Chris skipped the entire fight.
I did totally forget about that.
Because I was like, that doesn't... Because I was sitting there watching, I was like, okay, this feels like the finale, so what the fuck is in the last episode?
Oh yeah. Well,
same, girl.
Yeah, I know.
But I now understand why they released them at the same time.
Yeah, so the big portion I missed here. Agatha and Rio have a confrontation because she helped the boy escape and didn't hold up her end of the deal. So Rio coming for that ass, and not in the fun way, tries to kill Agatha. Billy comes to help. He lets her take some of his powers, but she goes, don't take it all.
And she doesn't.
So good.
She doesn't take it all. Yeah, he does. The suit does look good. They fight, and then Agatha looks at him and goes, we can't win a fight against death. We both know this. You can't beat death. So...
Unless you're Thanos and mad at Deadpool.
Yeah.
And then you can make Deadpool beat death forever because you're a jealous bitch.
Yeah, that is the thing that happened.
In the comics,
Rio-
Deadpool can't die not because of his X gene, but because Thanos cursed him with immortal life because Lady Death is in love with Deadpool. So he cursed Deadpool with immortality so they can't be together. And that's why Deadpool can't die.
Which is way more fucking
the
petty.
pettiest fucking thing.
It's so petty. So
but
Rio says,
now knowing that Aubrey Plaza is Lady Death, I kind of get it.
I
get
understand.
I get it. That's too many hot people at once. But yeah, Rio says one of you's coming with me, one of you's not. Decide. So obviously they go back and forth. Billy goes, it'll be me. Agatha walks off, basically telling him to go fuck himself.
And this was the part of the episode that I was kind of like, huh? Because I know Agatha is always going back and forth on, like, because she'll, like, show a little bit of vulnerability and then immediately switch back onto that bitch persona. But, like, they're literally, because she's laying there and he's, like, with her. And he says something like, you're not as bad as you think, or something like that. And she was like, you're the only one who seems to think so. And they have, like, a bonding moment. But then as soon as he's like, you can take me, she was like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all just had this moment. And then it was like in a second, like I blinked and she was back to the bitch persona.
Well, so that's when we, what I call his mind, when Billy telekinetically communicates with Agatha and goes, this is how Nikki died.
And then she immediately turns around and lesbians
lays a big old smooch. And then
Smoochy boochy.
Smoochy boochy. Oh my god, yes. I need to find those movies on whatever stream and watch them all. Shout out to the Kevin Smith universe.
The Viewisk universe, because he also has the Canada universe, apparently.
Yes, that's true as well. But yeah, Agatha dies. I like before she starts walking away, she goes, and clean up my yard. Plant some petunias.
Plant some azaleas.
Yeah, azaleas on the way out. Yeah. So that's how all of that goes down, and then Billy goes into his room, realizes that he created the road. We get Boo behind him,
and the episode ends.
But it starts like that to reveal Agatha's a ghost. More comic accurate Agatha as a ghost, which I thought was cool.
Well, does it start with that, or does it start with the most depressing shit ever?
It starts with the most depressing shit ever.
Yeah, we get the backstory of Nicholas Scratch.
Because we see her running through the woods, very pregnant, very much about to
very much so in labor.
Birth. And then Rio pops up, and she's just like, "No, please let him live. Don't take my baby." The entire time, I'm like, "Who did daddy?"
He died during labor.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, "If you do this, I will hate you forever." And
Rio said, "All I can give you is time."
Yeah, yeah. And then she never answered how much. Nicholas was born.
And I feel like that's worse. Getting 6 years with him and then him just being taken rather than getting nothing with him. I feel like
was it 6 years
is worse. I think it was 6 years.
So they start. Basically, that's when he's a baby. That was the first time that you see Agatha. The first time you see, like, of all of it, Agatha taking people's powers. I believe that she did that beforehand as well. with her own family.
So my understanding of how this story is told is she started to do that as part of the deal with Rio to save Nicholas. Because remember, at several points, Rio's like, you promised me bodies.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and she is actively going after and killing witches, it seems, to keep Nicholas alive for as long as she can.
That's the theory I saw, was that she kept doing it to, even though that at any point she could have just hung out, because even Nicholas is like, why don't we just create a family with them? Why do we keep killing them? And but yeah, she keeps doing it to try to distract Rio, is one of the theories I saw.
Well, yeah, and what happens the one time? Well, during all of this, they're creating the Witch's Road song together, her and Nicholas. The one time
I walk
Nicholas
the
does
windy
not.
road. Oh, you walk this road alone, do you?
We walk the windy
road. The one time Nicholas doesn't lure in a witch to kill, he goes, we could just always kill we could kill a witch tomorrow, Mom. And then it's that look of she knows.
Mm-hmm.
But they never tell you they never like specifically tell you what the deal was.
Right.
I'm like, damn, Rio, you couldn't even let her say goodbye. You got to do it while she's asleep. And then will she wake up to no child? Well, the child's there, but physically.
Yeah. That was heartbreaking. And we find out that she really didn't, I don't think she did anything wrong there. Like, it wasn't what the stories were, or at least in this universe, that doesn't happen, because it happens in the comics, but
right.
And then
she 100% sells her kid for the Darkhold.
Yep, some poor young kid or young witch comes out of nowhere and is like, because she's singing the song, thinking about her son. Poor young witch just walks over and is like, can you take me to the road? And that's where she gets the idea to do this shit. And we just see a fucking flashes of her doing it over decades. We go to the 80s, we go
centuries,
everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, easily centuries. Until that faithful day, they opened the road.
Yeah, because she was planning on.
And she was as confused as everyone else.
Because they even re-show the look of like, what the fuck, that she has in that first episode that we all didn't think anything of. And now we're like, oh, it's because the road didn't exist. She was just scamming people for centuries. And you know what? I support women's wrongs. Queen shit.
Oh my god. One day, I think we'll get through Bree's delusions. It'll happen.
But today is not that day.
It's not today.
So
tomorrow isn't looking good either.
We get. Yeah, why am I blanking? I literally rewatched this for like a third time today.
Okay, so it pops back in to where the last episode ends at this point.
Right, yep. That's when we get ghostly Agatha.
Blonde. Well, like white hair.
White hair.
Yeah, she was definitely white hair. Which is why I say it felt more comic accurate.
Looked fabulous.
Oh yeah.
Of course she did.
It's Catherine Hahn.
But no, and then he sees her there and he's freaking out and she's freaking out and he's like, I killed all those people. And she's like, well, no, I killed Protection Witch. Dave can't remember her name? Alice. She's like, well, no, I killed Alice. And he's like, yeah, but everyone else. And she's like, actually, if you do the math, you saved someone because I was planning on killing them all day one.
And then Jen,
you see Jen crawl out of the ground.
And just fly off.
Just
which I've seen the behind the scenes of how they did it. They have her on wires. Hell no. No. Y'all got it.
Oh, dude,
Y'all
no. Flying on wires is fucking dope.
I'm scared of heights, which I know is ironic. But yeah, no.
Why is it ironic?
I was like, how is that ironic?
Because I'm a giant.
But that
I'm also afraid of heights and almost the same height as you. To be fair. Well, in fact, most of the tall people I know are afraid of heights.
Anytime I've said I'm afraid of heights, somebody's like, but you're tall.
Yeah, those people are what I like to call morons.
Yeah, you're tall, but your feet still go all the way to the fucking floor.
Yeah, people are fucking stupid, is really what I'm hearing here. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's.
But no, being in the harness and shit, it feels different than like.
Yeah, like I murdered all of them. She goes, well, if you do the math, you saved one life. Well, this is true. So, I'm trying to remember what happens between that and them getting to her basement.
Nothing really.
Straight from there to there, because he's trying to cast her away, and she just keeps.
Yeah, he tries to banish her. He very much so gets close, and then she's like, I thought you were upset about killing witches. He goes, you're already dead.
Right.
And he goes, why won't you die? Why won't you just move on? And Agatha yells, because I can't face him.
Yep.
And that's when she's able to grab the locket.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy kind of takes a step back and is like, huh. And it feels like there's a scene that we don't see where she tells him what really happened with Nicholas.
Yeah.
Well, because it'd be redundant, because we just saw what happened to him in the same episode, so it would feel redundant to have her repeat it again.
Right. But it feels like she kind of explained what the deal was with Nicholas. And then he's like, because he's all of a sudden, like after a cut, kind of more cool with her than he was.
It may be and he makes a scene.
Maybe
it could be a deleted scene.
But he makes the comment, "Spirit as my guide," suggesting that she could help him, and she's like, "Let's go find your brother Timmy."
Yeah, she did call him Timmy a couple times.
I think she called him Tommy there, though.
Yeah, she did.
She says, "Let's go find Tommy," and then the episode ends, and I'm like, "I want."
But prior to that, prior to the episode ending, she says, "You know, full disclosure, I'm known to kill my coven." And he looks at her and goes, "Me too." But I think we're going to see these two return in Vision Quest.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing, and what I realized fairly quickly, Agatha's not the main character of this story.
No, she never was. Billy was.
No, it's Billy. The whole show was to bring back Billy and Tommy. We get Tommy. Kinda.
No. The whole show was to bring back Billy. Vision Quest is going to be to bring back Tommy.
Yeah.
Because Agatha and Billy probably go to find Robo Daddy to get help.
And at this point, Robo Daddy doesn't know who he is. Or who he was, I guess.
He's in the middle of an existential crisis, I think, because of the Ship of Theseus debate.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people online critiquing the fact that we don't figure out anything about Wanda. And I'm like, which character would have given enough of a fuck to ask Rio if she was actually dead? Because people are like,
Wanda's
Billy, why
not a
didn't you
part of
ask
this show.
Rio? Talking about, Billy, why didn't you ask Rio? And I'm like, because he doesn't even call her mom. He calls her Wanda. He doesn't give a fuck. Agatha could care less about if Wanda's actually dead or not.
Well,
Yeah, if there's
because
anyone
when
who-
Billy reincarnated, it seems very apparent that he remembered nothing of either of his prior lives.
He just
yeah.
he woke
Other
up,
than in
said
bits and
Tommy, and then
pieces.
just yeah.
Yeah.
He's though yeah. Because obviously he's going to care about his twin brother more than anybody.
Yeah.
So overall, 10 out of fucking 10. The show is amazing.
No notes.
Props.
Just
no
love.
notes at all. Just yeah. Like I
And
almost
to be
rewatched
fair,
the show.
Pengu was also really good. My only note was I feel like they took me out of it a little bit with the not flammable alcohol scene.
Yeah, that was a little weird. But other than that,
and
show
that is
was...
I want to go I want to go on record saying that is a super nitpicky gripe.
That's fair.
And I liked Penguin, but Agatha was definitely much more my speed, because like I liked Penguin, I loved all the character moments, but then when it would come to the mafia stuff and like the drug business and that shit, that's where I would start feeling like falling out of it a little bit. That's why it was taking me so long to watch the episodes versus Agatha. I was watching them immediately as soon as I could. But Penguin,
I liked that. I liked the mafia aspect of like the Penguin, because I am someone who enjoys mafia movies. Sort of like
Chris,
crime
are you
family
Italian?
thing.
You know what show I think you would actually really like though, Bree? Gotham.
I've heard good things about Gotham.
Because it's more of the honestly really similar types of storytelling as you get in the Batman and Penguin, but with less focus on how the criminal empire functions and more about the interplay between different figures within these criminal empires and Jim Gordon and all of the different women that Jim Gordon fucks. Because there are like 3 of them. Plus, it is my favorite portrayal of Bruce Wayne as a child fucking ever. And you don't even get that till probably season 2, really, or 3.
Doesn't that show have like 5 seasons?
Yes.
Okay. And that was back when seasons still had like 20-something episodes instead of 8.
No, I
No,
think
I don't
each
think it was that
season
long.
has like 11.
Oh.
I'll let you know. There were 5 seasons. There was 100 episodes. There's 22 episodes in 1 through 4, and then
So it was ending in the transition of us going from 20-something episodes to around 8 to 12.
Pretty much.
Right.
Like, can we get to at least 16 episodes? Because, like, I don't think we need to go back to the 20-something episodes because a lot of it is just filler. But, like, I feel like we need more than an average of 8 episodes or 10 episodes a season.
I was going to say, having a little filler and a little room to tell some backstory is kind of nice. That's one of the things I like about Gotham, because they don't have to try to shoehorn a bunch of backstory in. They can kind of feed it to you a little bit at a time because they take their time to tell their story.
Right. Overall, what's your rating? Because I give it a 10. Agatha. I give Agatha and I give Penguin 10s.
Agatha 10, Penguin it's hard because it's like it's such good writing, it's such good acting, especially in that last episode. Like it
But
pissed
they
me off,
killed
but the
Victor, so
acting,
0 out of 10.
the acting was so, and I know I know that it was to remind you that hey, Oz is not a good person.
No.
So I know there was a purpose to doing it. It just, and because I don't care about all the like mafia stuff, but I love all the character moments and like the growth between the characters. 7, I'll say a 7 out of 10.
So I'm going to give it an 8.5, and I'm going to give Agatha 9. Because across the whole series, and I feel like the last 2 episodes, this was less the case, and they kind of took their time and told their story, which is probably why they ran 9 episodes instead of 8, because they couldn't pack everything into the last episode that they wanted to.
Some stuff felt a little rushed.
Oh
yeah, I can see that.
Prior to those 2 episodes, some of the storytelling felt very abrupt. In ways that, and again, if they had an extra 3 episodes, I think they could have done it the way they wanted to, but you could tell that there was stuff that they kind of rushed, you know?
For which, Agatha or Penguin?
For Agatha.
Oh yeah, Agatha definitely. I think that they could have used like a 12 episode thing.
With the Penguin, sorry, go ahead.
That's the common complaint a lot of people have with Disney Plus Marvel shows, is that it'll start off really good, and then as the series is coming to an end, a lot of people are saying that the finales are always feeling very rushed, which is true in some cases, but even sometimes, even if they do feel rushed, I do still enjoy them. Like Secret Invasion is a perfect example. It does feel extremely rushed as the series continues, but I still really like.
But I think part of the rush of Secret Invasion, and I feel like Secret Invasion might not be the best example because there is building tension and they are on an increasingly urgent timetable in the story. So some things feeling like they're rushed, I think, is a good thing in that case, because the people in those experiences feel like they're rushed and need to make, you know what I mean? So I think some of that is kind of to pass along that emotion to the audience in Secret Invasion. But overall, I would agree. I think with Agatha, they rushed some of the earlier bits to be able to do the finale correctly, which I would rather have. But overall, I think they should just let them have like 13 episodes instead of 8.
Yeah, because I think you could tell a better story.
I think the Penguin struggled with that a little bit too.
8 episodes didn't feel like it was enough. Like it's a perfect story the way it is, but I feel like if you want to tell the story better, drag it out a little bit longer.
Yeah, there's no way you can tell that story better than they did in 8 episodes. That being said, my primary issue with Penguin and why I gave it a 0.5 point less than Agatha, because I will always have a critique for everything. Nobody gets a 10, period. There's always room for improvement. That being said, I want more consistency in the level of realism that you're portraying. Because in a lot of ways, they were kind of all over the place. We talked about it a little bit earlier with like the alcohol stuff versus the more realistic, different people with different levels of experience handle guns differently thing, right? But it wasn't just those 2 things. There was a bunch of different things. For instance, when Victor hit the guy with the car, first off, that guy didn't die and should have.
Yeah.
And second, Victor would have been out for at least 30 minutes. Because I don't know if you've ever been hit in the face with an airbag.
It fucking hurts. And that shit pushes.
It'll also usually break ribs. Like airbags will fuck you up in an effort to save your life. Because...
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Are you okay?
Okay.
Okay.
It sounds like Cookie is destroying my house, so I have to go check that out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just
No,
one
I
of
think
those
that's
things
fair.
where I would like, and if they want to go with a little less realism in favor of some of the fantasy stuff they're trying to do, I'm fucking here for it. But you make it a little more consistent.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Again, super nitpicky, right? But it's one of those things where, like, if I'm going to give a critique of something, I want you to know what you did right, and we've done a lot of talking about what they did right in both Penguin and Agatha. But I also want you to know what I think could be improved, because when I ask someone for a critique, I want constructive criticism that says, hey, I think this could be better. Right? Because that's how you get better at things. Is by knowing what isn't as good as it could be.
That's fair. And I mean, I think that's the hard part with the limited series, because you're literally given this time frame as you have to tell this story in this amount of time. And it's like,
oh yeah, no, a lot of the struggle I think with both shows came from time frame constraints.
Yeah, and I feel like the struggles aren't enough for me to be like this is a huge negative mark on the show, because overall both shows are fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, they're both fantastic. You know? They're just amazing. I'm probably going to rewatch both of them just to enjoy them now.
Yeah. My dad
without feeling like,
and was like all about it. And I was like, all right, fuck yeah. I would say I honestly want to rewatch them too, just to be like, you get
I'm also really excited because
right away.
I think the next thing we get from the Matt Reeves Batman verse, because I don't think it's going to be DC. I think it's going to be exclusive to Batman and his rogues gallery and the Bat family, right? And the only reason I say I think we're getting a Catwoman show next. Because why name drop Selena Kyle? Plus, as a general rule, Selena Kyle and Oswald Cobblepot always find a reason to beef with each other in the comics.
That's so true.
And with Oswald coming to power,
yeah.
So as long as Zoe can keep her nipples put away, I'm looking forward to seeing her soon in a
tight leather outfit.
No. Modern Catwoman should not wear a tight leather outfit. She should be wearing black cargo pants and a black turtleneck.
I mean, if she wants to dress like Halle Berry.
I mean, her outfit in the Batman was pretty good. Was pretty leathery. So
it was, but I want to see a Catwoman with a more if she is a cat burglar, I want to see something practical. Because you're not dressing up to be sexy to burgle cats.
But I think that's the whole point of Catwoman, is she's supposed to be this burglar, but she's also got that allure of being sexy.
Well, that's also just how women are drawn in comic books, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in DC. Because, like, Natasha Romanoff, while, yes, very tight, that's a very tactical bodysuit as an assassin.
Oh, yeah, no, she is wearing a tactical bodysuit with pouches and shit, and I would be okay with that, too, but this weird leather BDSM shit that they put Halle Berry in, fucking why?
Explain to me what Wonder Woman's outfit's going to protect.
Wonder Woman's outfit is traditional Greek.
Yeah.
So that's not her fault.
No, but yeah, I'm there with you too, Brie. It's like, name me an ugly woman that's played Catwoman, because Michelle Pfeiffer was gorgeous. Michelle Pfeiffer still is very attractive.
I
don't know. Her face looks a little melty these days.
Zoe Kravitz, Anne Hathaway.
Okay, Anne Hathaway is my favorite Catwoman costume, though, because they did like the cargo pants turtleneck thing with her. She still looked sexy as shit, and they explained the cat ears as goggles flipped up.
Yeah, well, it's
everything about her character design is amazing.
Plus, it's Anne Hathaway.
I mean, yeah. But, like, I like that where they have a reason for things, right? Like, the ears were functional. They did a thing because they were actually goggles flipped up, etc.
Right.
Because having ears for the point of, if you are a thief, you don't want things to be super identifiable.
Fair. Yeah. That's fair.
So, like, I'm hoping we get something more akin to how Anne Hathaway did things, but like 80s style, because this whole show and the Batman that came before it felt very like late 80s.
They're going to use the Catwoman suit from the Batman because that's already canonically established in the movie.
I don't remember.
Well, she may get a. It's like a. If I remember correctly, I think it's like a motorcycle jacket at some point. Like Kravitz Catwoman.
Here.
Well, I don't know if it's
no. Her suit is kind of tactical.
Yeah.
Her titties aren't busting out.
Yeah, it's
nope,
not
can't
like
see a
Michelle
nipple.
Pfeiffer.
Yeah, no, she's wearing a tactical bodysuit similar to what Natasha is. My biggest problem, I guess, is there's nowhere to put things in this suit. And the gorget is unnecessary. Also, the balaclava she wears is stupid, and that needs changed.
Yeah.
That being said, you know what my favorite Catwoman of all time is?
Who?
In live action?
Who?
Cameron Bicondova. She played Selena Kyle in Gotham.
Oh,
okay. I was supposed to say from what?
I was like, yeah, I was like, who is that?
Okay.
Well, I say we are at our 3 hours.
Is it my time?
It is.
I say we end on your segment here because it is 10:05 and your boy does have to get up for work in the morning.
So instead of doing a music corner this week, I decided that I want to do a segment on a horror legend who has recently, within the last couple of days, passed away. If you do not recognize the name Tony Todd, that is fucking Candyman. He is in The Crow. He is in. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. Candyman, The Crow, Wishmaster, Hatchet, Final Destination, like horror legend. And he recently passed away at the age of 69. What is with this year and taking fucking half of my people with really deep voices? Because first we started with James Earl Jones, then we went to Ken Page, and now this. I need to talk to a manager up there who's making these decisions. Because fuck you. Because fuck you. But he yeah, I feel like one of the first, like, when you think like horror icons, like the face that pops up, like he's one of them, and this is one of the first ones that we've lost. Like the OG Michael Myers, Nick Castle, he's still around. The name you associate with Jason is Kane Hodder, he's still around. Brad Dourif, who's Chucky, is still around. So it's like this is one of the first like icons of horror to lose, and it hurt. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
And if you're not a horror fan, he's also the voice of Venom in the wonderful Marvel Spider-Man 2 game. Yeah, I just wanted to take a second to honor the wonderful and amazing, and from what I've heard, amazing person, kindest human being, Tony Todd.
Right. Well, we're here as the other resident horror nut. We're here to represent. So I think that is a perfect spot to end, considering we are well past almost my bedtime here, because your boy's got a morning job now.
Say it ain't so.
We'll save that for next week. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. If you are hanging out with us on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button if you enjoyed what you saw. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, let you know anytime we upload anything new. Spotify listeners, shout out to you guys. Make sure you're following, make sure you leave us a review. That's real big for us. Check out our socials. We have to update that for our personal TikTok. We also have Pucked Up with our good buddy Gosmall as a guest. I think Dave makes a 5-second appearance. I will have to. This week or last week you happen to make it in for like a 5-second cameo. I don't know. I haven't edited it yet. That'll be up and ready to go for Friday. Anything else we want to add before we sign off?
Don't confuse HOTAS with hot ass.
Okay. On that note, Bree, take us out.
Until we see y'all again, remember, keep it simple, stay weird, and most importantly, fuck bitches get money. Bye, guys.
Fuck bitches get money.